the News Channel 5 network. This is MorningLine with Nick Beres.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on MorningLine. Nick Beres here on a Tuesday, and we have a good show with one of my favorite guests. He's been coming on for years. I've learned so much from this man, and he just is a decent, great guy. And we're going to talk this morning. Yeah. Now, he's wondering what am I going to get from him? Do I want something? No, I'm just being honest. But we're going to talk this morning about an area of the law that is rapidly growing, and there's more and more people that are, I think, seeking these types of services: elder care, retirement, as you age, things that you have to deal with, whether you're dealing with it yourself because you've reached a certain age where it comes about, or you're dealing with it, a lot of us who are younger, with our parents or loved ones who have aged. So the number's up on the screen, 737-7587. We can take some calls, but sometimes it's just good to sit back and listen to Tim Takacs, because I dare say he's one of the foremost experts in this field of law, not just in the state, but in the entire country. Wow, am I just...
Nick, it's great to see you.
I am frosting that cake heavy.
You are. That's excellent. Thank you so much.
Well, how long have you been coming
on? Since, I think, about 2000.
2000. Yeah. And it's funny, before the show...
20 years, really.
Yes!
20 years. I was like a little baby lawyer back then.
Well, look at you. When you first came on, like a lot of people the first time, a little nerve-wracking. You're on TV. Yeah. We're going into maybe 500,000 homes potentially.
That's right.
And everyone's a little nervous. Now... And you have your own done show.
Yeah, we have our own show.
Barbara McGinnis, and
right.
And you can host this without me. So
okay.
I'm gonna I need a job. Okay,
yeah, you do.
But you could do it.
And I appreciate that. I mean,
almost 20 years.
20
Holy
years.
cow.
Yeah.
Well, just remind folks, if you will, as always, elder law and the field and what it is you can specialize in.
Okay. So obviously, we focus on representing older people.
Yes.
And somebody was asking, what is a definition of an elder? And when I get to my age, I say it's always somebody that's 2 years older than I am.
I like that answer.
So, and I'm thinking about that. Because I'm close to Medicare age.
Sure. Yeah.
But basically, what we do is. We have people that come in addition to doing estate planning, wills, powers of attorney, trust, which is estate planning, but we help people plan for their personal care and their long-term care needs.
Okay. Right, and there's so many of them. I mean, there's we all wish obviously we all wish we could be healthy and, at 90 years old and we ride off in the sunset in the south of France, but that's not real life. That's not what most people can expect for aging. Now, people can have successful aging. There are ways to do that. And we can talk about some of them. And I know we were talking about just before we come. Oh yeah.
But basically, it's about how do we help people age, in place if we can. How do we get care that. How can they get care that they need if they need it at home or wherever they are?
And everyone has a different amount of resources. That's what I was going to say.
Exactly. What resources are
Not
available?
everyone has the same amount of money to draw on.
Right.
It's not just Social Security. All right, well, in talking about money, this is a question I had, and it's something I've been asked several times. It's actually something I thought about with my folks.
Yes.
A lot of folks these days, when they get to the point where they can't live alone anymore, maybe it's a couple, maybe it's an individual. Your loved one might go to an assisted living facility. Not necessarily a nursing home, but assisted living where they have some help, but it's kind of an apartment setting, or they go to a nursing home. Now, we have, for instance, my parents are in an assisted living facility, and we pay a certain amount every month for them. Now, one of the reasons we stayed, we were going to move to another facility. One of the reasons we stayed at this is we found out they became Medicare qualified.
Medicaid.
So I guess Medicaid.
Medicaid would pay if they run out of money.
Okay, so I get
Medicaid,
those. Right. I apologize. Thank you for correcting me on that. All right, so Medicaid qualified.
Yes.
Not all nursing homes or facilities are. They don't have to be.
That's correct.
Now, even then, now what I'm thinking is my folks could live in this assisted living facility for the next 5 years and pay through all their life savings.
Right.
Meaning that all said and done, they might pay $250,000 into this place.
That's right.
All right?
Yes.
And then all that money's gone.
Right.
And aside from their Social Security, they have nothing. At that point, you would qualify for Medicaid.
Yes.
Now, would you not? Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, so here's my question for you. And not only if I ask this, I've had people ask me this. They go to the nursing home. Okay, you're Medicaid qualified, which is nice because others aren't.
Right.
We want it in writing that when my folks run out of money, that they're going to be able to stay here and have the Medicaid coverage.
Right.
Places will not give that to you. They'll just say, look, you're in a position where when the time comes, that's the plan.
Right.
But they won't put it in writing to guarantee it. And I'm like, listen, if my folks are going to pay $250,000 to live here, and then they run out of money and you kick them out, I'm going to show up and start breaking things.
Right. Now, here's the reason why.
Okay.
Okay. And it's a very simple reason is that it's like, okay, Medicaid is a program that is paid for by the government.
Correct.
But it's by state government. Okay, so for a facility to say, Nick, your mom and dad can stay here for the rest of their lives, if they run out of money, and we guarantee it. The facility can't guarantee anything because because your mom and dad or your dad or whoever needs the money, they have to go to the Medicaid program and say, I need help.
Okay.
So it's the state of Tennessee, the TennCare program.
Right.
In Idaho, it would be the state Medicaid program there. They're the ones that have to say whether your mom or dad get Medicaid or not. Well, so the facility can't guarantee
Now, I understand that. Now, let's say you do, and let's say you get Medicaid approval, which oftentimes would be approved, would it not? If you can make the case legitimately, my folks are honest people. They're going to say, we've spent all of our savings, we have no property, we have nothing left other than Social Security.
Right.
That's all they'll have left.
That's right.
Then, and under those circumstances, they would typically qualify for Medicaid, would they not?
Yes, exactly.
So if they qualify, and I understand that, my thing would be,
if they meet all the criteria.
If they meet all the criteria, though, they still might not be able to stay in the nursing home?
As long as the facility accepts Medicaid.
Yeah,
if they meet all the criteria that Medicaid.
Yeah. So if my folks meet the criteria and qualify, which we've established they would if they're destitute at that point, except for then
the state would say, okay, they pay.
And the state will pay, and they can stay at this
where
facility.
They are. Yes. So, as long as they participate in the Medicaid program, which is what you said that they do, which is good.
What do you mean participate?
Meaning they accept Medicaid.
Yeah.
They accept Medicaid payments. And as you said, not all facilities do.
Right. And we looked for that.
Yes, that's
because in a way, that gives me some peace of mind.
It does.
My brother and I will be there to help my folks, whatever happens.
Right.
But if they run out, it's nice to know, hopefully, that they can stay at this place that they're familiar with and would be able to get Medicaid. And you would think, under those circumstances, probably so.
Yes. Right.
Gosh,
exactly.
Well, that is good to hear. And so you explained it to me why the bigger picture they can't guarantee anything.
Yeah, they can't guarantee it.
I wish they could say, well, if your folks qualify for Medicaid, because then it may even be but they're already there. Since they've already been living there, they get a leg up on someone else maybe coming from the outside.
Exactly, because in Tennessee, certainly, the way to get into a nursing home that accepts Medicaid is either through the waiting list, or you have to go into the hospital and then go into a skilled nursing facility.
Or you can go in if you have enough money to begin with and start by moving in and paying.
Which is what your mom and dad
they're doing. And then when they run out, they're already there.
And the good thing for them is, for your mom and dad, is they're in assisted living.
Yes.
Right, and most assisted livings in Tennessee will not accept Medicaid because they don't pay enough. Medicaid does not pay enough.
Right. That's what I figured. And we shopped around. There was another assisted living facility that was less, and we were thinking we were going to move them there, which is still very nice. But then we realized they weren't, and the one that my folks are at just became Medicaid qualified. And like, that's it, we'll stay. And it is the different tiers, by the way. They have memory care there as well.
Right.
So, well, it's crazy. Now, of course, Medicaid can change, laws can change.
And that's another thing is that for a facility to say, what the facility should do is they should say, Mr. Beres, as long as your parents meet Medicaid criteria at the time of their application, they're in. Medicaid's going to pay.
Yeah.
But it's the same way is that, Tennessee changed their Medicaid program several years ago, and it made it for many people more difficult to meet the criteria for qualifying.
I thought the criteria is that you're just destitute. You have no more resources.
You have to meet medical criteria too.
Oh.
Yeah. And that was a biggie.
Meaning that you have to be sick?
Well, yeah, you have to. And here's something that we've talked about before is that the medical criteria now in Tennessee is that you have to essentially need assistance with 2 or more activities of daily living, but none of those can be bathing or dressing. Okay.
It's like, I don't know, eating?
Well, yeah, I mean, literally, can you feed yourself? Can you dress yourself? those are activities of daily living.
Yeah, okay.
You know, and can you transfer, in other words, can you safely transfer from your bed, out of the bed, maybe to the toilet?
So the criteria. I guess we need to see.
Those are activities of daily living.
And that's
the major
unique.
one.
And that's because Tennessee went with TennCare, set up their own plan.
Yes.
Many states just have the typical Medicaid qualifications.
And we did in Tennessee. We did until about what 2008
yeah, so I think
or
if
2010.
Boise, what is the typical federal requirement?
Typical federal requirement usually is going to be is you need assistance with at least one activity of daily living.
Okay.
That's what Tennessee did until they changed the criteria.
Made it more difficult.
They made it almost very difficult.
Holy cow.
I mean,
all right.
Yeah, don't freak out over this.
Well, my folks don't live in Tennessee.
Okay, well
and that's good for them. All right.
In some ways it can be.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
Yeah.
We'll take a break on that note. When we come back, we'll open up the phone line, 737-7587, and we can talk about anything you have questions about. And you were talking with me before the show about some amazing devices I didn't know that are out there to help people.
I can't wait for that.
Okay, well, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
That was profiled on their last program, and I think it's really cool. We'll take a break. If you want to join us, any questions about elder law, retirement, the types of things we're just talking about, give us a call. We'll get to you. And if not, we're going to sit here and listen to Tim talk. It's good stuff. We'll be right back after this.